Over time, riding, the Brooks saddle skirts tend to flare out when you're sitting on them. And I am going to show you an easy fix using I happen to have a leather punch here. You can use a drill, it won't come out as clean. Any small metallic tube, you can sharpen the edge, you can use it as a punch to punch through perfect holes like these. And then a shoelace. If you look on the Brooks site, there are some saddles that already come with the holes along the bottom with already the stitching for that reason. And they also got saddles where they're just cut off, and I have done that before, and it's a cool look, but I do believe when you cut the skirts off, it does kind of change the ride characteristic and the longevity of the saddle. At least I feel that way. Whether it's true or not, I'm sure other people will have different opinions. So I like to put holes because there's already kind of marks up. So I'll probably just put two, one on each one of these corners on both sides because the emblems are pretty uniform. And let's go ahead and do that. This tool has all different sizes. So I'm going to come to nothing too big, just something I could slide a shoelace through. And we'll get this positioned nicely. And you can see from the side that I'm going to try to line them up with each corner somewhere in the middle. And I'm going to try to be somewhat uniform just from a look standpoint. There's one. If I pressed a little harder, it would probably cut clean. Just trying to get it uniform. And let's get my little awl and poke those through. There you go. There's one clean hole. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. We'll get this side. Bump, bump. I mean, you can't see both sides at the same time, so I guess it doesn't need to be perfect. Up there, up and try right about there. I'm going to make my life easier, and I'm going to put, boom. I was going to say I was going to put the saddle upside down, but I've got it. So you could just put the shoelace through, but I like to get it through so it's nice and neat like this, and then I tension it to where it's, you don't want to squeeze it in too much because it'll bulge it. It's leather, so it's going to re-break into whatever position you need. My leather punch. Almost time for a new one, that cheap Amazon one. Might not be strong enough for the Brooks, although I have used it on a bunch of Brooks saddles and thick leather and do the same thing on the other side. Make sure it's coming through nice and smooth. Yep. And now we will take my cool ass saddlebag off. I'm going to flip the bike upside down and show you how I tie it and clean it all up. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Just make sure the way the picture's showing, that's basically under the rails, but it's technically over the rails. I'll bring it up through the middle. And this way the strapping ends up on top of your seat post. And basically, I just tie it into a bow, a knot, any sort that works. It doesn't need to be super tight. This is pretty slick shoelaces. So I'll roll it around a few times just to create a little extra friction. And tuck it up under. I'm just going to tie it in a few knots. See, when I let go of this, the skirts will pop back a little, which is fine, because it's kind of what I want. I'm only trying to create a leash, not something that's going to bind it and tie it together. It's not what the goal is. 1, 2, break out a there we go. See, now it won't flare out. It kind of keeps it locked under, so when I'm sitting on it applying a lot of pressure, my skirts won't come out and chafe me. So I'll break out the pair of scissors and we're good to go. If you are somebody that does want it tighter and less of a leash and more of a stiffener, because when you pinch it in like this, it does stiffen the whole spine, I don't know, middle of the saddle. So I mean, it's definitely something you can do. You just tie it tighter. With me, I'm just trying to keep it leashed, and every B17 I've had seems to flare out and do a little chafing on me. It's you know, you wear good cycling pants, so on and so forth, and it's not that big of an issue. My upside down Fuji, let's get it right side up again. And there you go. Looks nice and clean, looks like it almost belongs. A little bit less of a flare out happening, and when I press the saddle, the sides aren't flaring out, but it's still not super tight. Like I said, I use it as a leash, and I won't get any chafing here. Oh, I won't get any chafing here because of this. I won't even feel it because my legs will be clearing it. It's funny that the camera makes my saddle look more reddish. Could be the lighting in here, when it's actually more of a light brown honey. But it works on this bike. I had the darker brown Swift, I think. And I like the B17s. Anyways, there you go. That's how I control the wings of a Brooks saddle. And this trick has worked for me on many saddles. And like I said, if it's something that you're looking into Brooks and you think that it might become an issue for you, they do already sell them with the holes all up along the side here, already pre-laced, or you can lace them however you want. I just put the 2 holes in, and it's enough because, like I said, I'm using it as just to keep the skirts in control. And yep, this bike is what I'm going to go out and ride today. All right, hopefully this helped out people, and you can see it's pretty neat in there. And trust me, I've had other ones I've done that weren't so neat and are just tied in bows and stuffed under. Today it worked out well. All right, if you like what you see and this helped you out, hit like, subscribe. You know the drill.